Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us today.
Good
Uh,
evening.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Marufa Meme. I'm the Housing Connect coordinator with Cypress Hills Local Development Corporation, and I'm gonna host today's English session for the new Housing Connect website. Um, I'm gonna pass it to Nicole Gonzalez to introduce herself.
Hi everyone, my name is Nicole Gonzalez. I'm the homeowner help desk counselor here at Cypress Hills LDC. My main role will be to work with homeowners in any repairs or any cost reducing programs that they need to apply to. But I do also help tenants. If you are 60 or above and you need help in either English or Spanish, I will be here to assist you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. Also, I help people under the age of 60 who speak English, along with Bengali people and people who speak Urdu and Hindi. And I'm gonna pass it to Alex Nava, if you can introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. So my name is Alex. I assist people under the age of 60 years, and I help them with mostly Spanish. So if you know anybody who speaks Spanish and needs help and assistance of House Connect, please refer them to me and drop my information below on the chat box.
Thank you, Alex. Now I'm gonna pass it to Alexa.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Alexa. I work with Alex and Marufa at 2966 Fulton Street. Right now we are remote, but you can still reach out. And I am an organizer. I work with the Coalition for Community Advancement. The coalition is made up of tenants, homeowners, community-based organizations, and houses of worship, and we organize and fight for real affordable housing and new and good jobs for East New Yorkers. I can drop the coalition's email into the chat, so please, get involved in the fight for affordable housing. Thanks, Martha.
Thank you, Alexa. And we also have Christy with us. She's gonna educate us about tenants' right in New York City. So sometimes as a tenant, we face harassment. We face our landlord take advantage of us, and we don't know what to do. We don't know about our rights. So thanks to Christy to join us today. And if you would like to introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Christy Ortiz-Lamb. I am the Deputy Director at Brooklyn Legal Services Corporation A. We do affirmative landlord-tenant cases as well as eviction defense. So it's a pleasure meeting you all.
Thanks, Christy. And also we have Jenna with us today. She's gonna talk about what is Housing Connect and the difference between the new Housing Connect and the old Housing Connect. So Jenna, if you can introduce yourself.
Sure, thanks so much. My name is Jenna Benfrahat. I'm the coordinator for the Housing Ambassador Program at HPD, which is a network of nonprofits, just like Cypress Hills. Cypress Hills is one of them. That helps people prepare and apply for affordable housing lotteries. So I'm super excited to be here today with you all and get to talk to you about the new site. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Jenna. So we are going to start now. So Alex, if you can share the screen. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
No, that was me. That was me. I'm supposed to share the screen.
Oh, okay.
I do think someone wrote in the chat that they're having trouble hearing.
Someone having trouble hearing?
No, I was, but not now.
Great.
Oh, great.
Take it away.
So Jenna, if you would like to start.
Okay, great. Yeah, and we can start right on the next slide. But today we're going to talk about, the new housing, or I'm going to talk about the new NYC Housing Connect. We still call it new because we were very excited to get it out, but it actually came out last July, so it's not that new anymore. But the NYC Housing Connect, if you haven't heard of it, is your portal to search and apply for affordable housing opportunities in New York City. We released this new system last July, but some of you may have created accounts in the original Housing Connect, which we made, I think, back in like 2014. So if you did create an account in the original Housing Connect, you can still access that site to look at the status of any of your applications that you submitted through that original site. But there are no new developments being posted on there. So if you want to start applying for affordable housing now, you're going to have to create a whole new account in the new Housing Connect system. They're totally separate. So your applications that you submitted in the original Housing Connect are staying there. You're not going to see them in your new account, and vice versa.
Oh,
So yeah, and we covered this bullet. So yeah, if you want to create an account in the new Housing Connect, you have to, again, brand new registration. You click the register link. I think someone's going to walk you through that. Maybe me or Marufa will walk you through that today. So with this new system, in the original Housing Connect, you could only apply for rental opportunities. Really, we took the paper application process for affordable housing and we just put it online. But in this new system, you're going to be able to apply for rental opportunities, homeownership opportunities, and then also what we call re-rentals or resales. So those are affordable units that went through this lottery process a long time ago, and then have since become available. And we'll run what's called a mini lottery and match eligible households in Housing Connect with those available re-rental or resale opportunities. The new system, we're really excited about it because it is mobile friendly, which the original site was not. And most Housing Connect users are accessing Housing Connect from their mobile devices. So that's a really exciting update, and all around it's more user friendly and just more accessible. It can be translated into over 100 languages with Google Translate, and it's more ADA accessible.
mm.
So that was a quick introduction to the site, but now we can actually talk about what it does. So again, Housing Connect is your portal to search and apply for affordable housing opportunities in New York City. Within the site, once you create your account, you can view current housing opportunities and even start applying for them. Once you create your Housing Connect profile, there's a lot of questions in it, but we're hoping it'll lead you to a more accurate idea or picture of what your household information really is. And so hopefully you'll be applying for projects that you really qualify for, and we're kind of setting expectations ahead of time. But once you create your profile, that's what becomes your application for Housing Connect. And then you can start and save applications from then on through the Open Lotteries page. So you may have heard us say it's the Affordable Housing Lottery, meaning it's a totally randomized process. We get a lot of applicants for our units. I don't know what the latest numbers are, but in the original Housing Connect, we had about 600 applications for every one unit. So you're not guaranteed to receive the housing. Again, it's totally randomized, so you apply on the first day or the last day. of the application period, your chances are the same. But it can be kind of it can take a long time after that. It can take about 3 months to a year. And you're going to qualify for the housing based on your household size and income. And that can vary, the eligibility requirements will vary project to project.
Mhm.
And there are some things called set-asides and preferences, which I think Alex is going to take you through a little bit later for some projects in your area. And if you want to see which set-asides and preferences apply, you should see the advertisement. And the place you apply is online at the Housing Connect website. You can use this link. And if you're not comfortable with the internet, then you can also submit a request a paper application and submit that to the developer. You can find instructions on how to do that on the advertisement. And you can find advertisements on Housing Connect or in newspapers or with your local housing ambassador or community board.
Thank you, Jenna. So, Alex, would you? Okay. So Alexa, can you, if you can stop sharing your screen so that I can, yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Everyone can see my screen, right? Just,
Yeah.
okay. So, so this is the new Housing Connect website. That's how it looks like. So, okay, so this is the new Housing Connect website. And first, if you don't have an account in the new Housing Connect website, you have to click on register first.
Mhm.
You will see this option, like you have to create a username and then password. So, and then you have to have an email address. So your email address goes here, and then additional contact information, phone number, or alternate email. And then you have to click here and then create my account. Once you've done that, you will receive an email to confirm your primary email address, and then a code in your additional the information that you put, whether it's a phone number or email. You will receive a code, and you have to enter that code to confirm your account. Then you can log into your account. So now I'm gonna log into. So once you log in, you will create a menu, and then you will go to my household, and first you have to complete your profile, your name, enter your name, so Marufa, and then your contact information, and then language, and then people in your household, and after that your address, and then bunch of other questions. So do it. So these are, if you are a NYCHA, if you are a resident in a NYCHA property, or like all these question, you have to answer all these question, and once you're done, you will see. Okay. And once you are done putting all, once you're done completing your profile, you will see a green sign, green check on your in your account. That means you have all the information that you need to apply for housing. So if you see a red sign, red cross, that means you are missing some information. So make sure you have that green check once you're done completing your profile. And then once you're done, you can go to open lotteries, and then you can see all the developments are listed here. You can put which neighborhood you'd like to see, like the developments, and then your monthly rent that you prefer and your income. And search. So it will. And also when you are completing my household, you will see an option where it says if you would like to if you can add some additional information, like if you want pet policy or no pet policy, elevator and other stuff you can add in your profile. So that's how you do it. And if you are confused, you would like to clarify on something, here's all the videos like on registration, account setup, personal info, account info, household setup. So you can watch all these videos if you have any confusion. And you can, if you would like to know about Housing Connect, about more information, you can always go to about, and you can see all this information, how to apply, retail. So that's all.
That was great, Marifa. Oh, I said it too late, but the other place I'd love to let folks know that they should be checking is our FAQ page.
Okay.
There's a section for frequently asked questions, and you can get to it by scrolling all the way down to the bottom. There's a navigation pane. You might not be able to get to it when you're in the household information section, but if you click on home or anywhere else, yeah.
Oh.
And down at the bottom, you can see frequently asked questions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
So we're updating this semi-regularly with FAQs that I'm often hearing from housing ambassadors. It's a good place to check if you have questions.
So if you have any question, and you can go to frequently asked question, and you might find your question and answer it.
Yeah.
And if you have any question, please put that in the chat. We'll answer that after our presentation in our Q and in our question and answer session. Okay. So
Share my screen, Marifa?
yeah.
Okay.
So, thank you, Jenna.
No problem. Thank you.
So Alex, if you'd like to go over on these 5 developments, Thank
All
you.
right, guys. So I'm gonna be going over the 5 affordable housing develops that are currently available on the New Housing Connect website. Go next, Alexa. All right, so the first one being the Garnet. So this is located in Brooklyn. So the address is in the first bullet. So I'll read it out to you guys. So it's 1620 Fulton Street, and the household size is 1 to 5 people. So it's a pretty big apartment. So the eligible income is minimum being $25,372, maximum being $184,200. And the monthly rent starts from $667, maximum being $2,741. So total units available for this is 94 at the moment, and the deadline for this is in April 9, 2021. And if you guys need more details, someone will put a link for that. If you guys want to click, I don't know, it's right there. Okay. Okay, and so the percentage of units are set aside for 5% mobility, 2% vision and hearing, and preference for percentage of unit goes to 50% of community board residents and 5% New York City employee.
Alex, would you like
Yep.
to explain what is 50% community board resident?
Actually, more you want to go over that because I'm not that quite sure about that.
Okay. So 50% community board residents, that means this development, if for example, if this development is located at community board 5, people who are applying for that development and they are resident in the community board 5, they will get 50% preference. So that means 50% of the total units are reserved for people who lives in community board 5. So that's the meaning of community 50% community board residents.
So Maruf and Alex, I'm pretty sure this development is in Bed-Stuy. And I mean, this development is.
That was an example.
Oh, okay. It's in Bed-Stuy. And so in this one, it's community board 3. So if you live in community board 3, then 50% of the units are set aside for you. So that's why it's really important when there are developments that come available, whether it's in East, wherever, if it's in your community, it's really important that you apply to them because you have a greater chance of winning the lottery.
All right, we can go to the next slide, Alexa. All right, so this next one is called the Astra. So this is located as well in Brooklyn. So 645 Gates Avenue, and the household for this is 1 to 7. So this is bigger than the one from before, and the eligible income minimum being $20,160, and the maximum being $183,300. And the monthly rent starts from $524, maximum being $2,638. And the total units available for this is 89. And the deadline to sign up for this lottery is April 12, 2021. And once again, just more details, I think we'll put in the chat box below for this. All right, so same as well as the last one, same thing as percentages. So it's 5% mobility, 2% for vision and hearing, as well as this one. This is 50% community board residents and 5% for New York City employee.
And would you be able to explain a little bit more about the percentage of units set aside for mobility, vision, and hearing? Can you explain that a little bit more?
Yeah, do you want me to? Or sorry, do you want to?
No, Jenna, you could go over it.
Okay. Yeah, so a percentage of units are 5% of units are set aside for people with mobility disabilities. 2% of units are set aside for people with vision or hearing disabilities. So we call those set asides because those units are like built differently. So a mobility unit might have like lower countertops or wider hallways. Units for people with vision or hearing disabilities might have different wiring throughout the apartment so that they're accessible for those folks. If you have a mobility, vision, or hearing disability, don't worry if you don't get one of these set aside units. In most of our buildings, the other units will be adaptable. So you can still adapt those units through a reasonable accommodation request. But through this set aside process, these units will always be going to folks with these disabilities. It applies to most developments that you'll see on Housing Connect, but not all of them. So be sure to check the advertisement to see which set asides and preferences apply. And I'm not sure if you covered the New York City employee one, but I can just cover that quickly now. So when we're saying New York City employee, it's like a municipal employee. And the way you can tell if you are a city employee is if your paycheck says the City of New York. It's the easiest way to tell.
And then, so I know when we were, in the office, a lot residents would sometimes ask about the mobility and vision and hearing set asides, and was there a specific documentation that was necessary in order to like prove that?
Yeah, that's a great question. And it's actually a document folks can get signed ahead of time if they want. So it's called a certification of disability form, I think, and it needs to be signed by the applicant and by their doctor. And basically to certify that they have this type of disability and that they would benefit from having an adapted unit that's built for somebody with one of these disabilities. So you can find that form on our website, but there's also a link to it. As you're filling out your Housing Connect profile, you'll be asked if you have one of these disabilities, and you'll see a link to the certificate. I think it's called the Certificate of Disability form. I don't know why that's a tongue twister for me tonight, but that's there. Last thing, if you are having trouble, if you have one of these disabilities and you're not able to get in touch with your doctor right now due to the pandemic, we have an affidavit form that you can fill out. And the marketing agent, so if you're contacted for development, they should let you know that. If you tell them you can't get in touch with your doctor right now, we have kind of a workaround for that.
Thanks.
Thank you, Jenna. Alex, you can continue.
Yeah. All right, so this next one is called Archer Green. So this is located at 9223 168th Street, and this is in Queens. So the people who live in Queens, this will be great for you guys. So the household size is from 1 to 7, 7 being the maximum, and the eligible income starting from $20,160, maximum being $183,300 and $300. So yeah, and the monthly rent starts from $524 and maximum being $2,638. So that's how the place looks. You guys see the picture. So this has a lot of units available, so this is really good. So in total, it has 351 units, and the deadline to sign up for this is April 14, 2021. And once again, if you want more details on this specific one, either Marufa or someone else will put in the chat box. All right, so once again, the percentages, and so it starts from 5% mobility, 2% vision and hearing, and 50% community board residents, and 5% New York City employee. So all these percentages basically apply, like they're all basically the same for every project build. All right, so this fourth one is located at 225 West 28th Street, New York. So I believe this is Manhattan, if I'm not mistaken. And then the household size is from 1 to 7. Eligible income minimum being $34,115 and maximum being $112,800. All right, and the monthly rent starts from $995, maximum being $1,681. So this actually has a little bit of units, but never hurts to try. So the total is 35 units available, and the deadline for this is April 5th, 2021. So you guys still have 1 month left to apply. And once again, if you guys need more details for this specific one, Maruf will paste it down below in chat. All right, and the percentages of the units are set aside for 5% mobility, 2% vision and hearing, and the preference for percentage of unit goes to 50% community board residents and 5% New York City employee. All right, and this last one is called Tree of Life. This is located Queens. We're going back to Queens. It's located at 8946 164th Street. So the household size is 1 to 7. The eligible income from minimum being $25,372, maximum being $169,200. So the monthly rent starts from $667, maximum being $2,264, and the total units available at the moment right now is 166, and the deadline for this is April 27, 2021. So you still have a lot of time for this, and I think Maruf pasted more information about this department in the chat. So let's see. Okay, a percentage, same thing as the other one. So it's 5% mobility, 2% vision and hearing, and 50% for community board residents, and 5% for New York City employees.
Awesome. And if it's all right, I'll jump in quickly with a note about income qualifications. So if we could go back to the previous slide, that's all right. Thanks. So yeah, you'll see, as Alex and Marufa have showed you tonight, eligibility is primarily based on household size and income. Just wanted to mention, if anyone has a voucher on the line, if you have a voucher, the minimum income requirement is not going to apply for you. As long as your voucher covers your rent, then you should absolutely apply for that project. And just confirm with your voucher administrator what their rules are. Some vouchers let you pay a little bit over the voucher amount, and some vouchers won't allow you to pay anything else. So figure out what your voucher allows, and then from there you can determine your eligibility for our housing.
Thanks, Jenna. Thanks for the clarification. Alexa, can you share the slides so that I can talk about the contact information?
Sorry, I couldn't understand, but I may have a few recommendations. How about Godric?
The wrong Alexa.
Wrong Alexa, yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't understand, but I have a few recommendations. How about Godric hit?
There you go, Marufa.
She listens to everything.
Proceed.
I know. This happens all the time to me. It's terrible.
Want to give it a try?
No, Alexa.
Marufa, take it away.
Okay, so here so here's our contact information. So people, so for people under the age of 60 who speak English or Bangla, Hindi or Urdu speakers, they can contact me. Here is my email address. I will suggest to take a picture so you
Alexa, stop.
so you all have this information. And then for the people under the age of 60 and who speak Spanish, we have Alex. Alex gonna help them with their application or if they need any assistance with the New Housing Connect website. And this is his email address. And for the people over the age of 60, for uh, English and Spanish speakers, you can contact Nicole Gonzalez, and she's our senior housing counselor. And this is her email address. So for people over the age of 60, contact Nicole. Under the age of 60, if you speak Spanish, contact Alex. And under the age of 60, if you speak English or this language, contact me. And for Chris, and now um, and now Christy gonna going to educate us about the tenant rights in New York City. So Christy would like to begin.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Once again, an attorney working at Brooklyn Legal Services Corporation A. I actually put my contact information in the chat, and you can reach out to us if you have a landlord-tenant issue. For example, if the landlord is harassing you, the landlord served you a rent demand saying that you owe back rent, or is asking you to move out, or has actually changed the locks on your apartment door, or you want to start an action against your landlord for repairs, for harassment, for an overcharge claim, or anything like that, we actually are able to assist you in any kind of housing. We also deal with foreclosures, with bankruptcy and tax credit, as well as assist small business owners and nonprofits with transactional work. So that's what we do in a nutshell, but I'm going to talk to you about what's going on in housing court. Currently, housing court is, for all intents and purposes, actually closed, except for virtual conferences that are being done all throughout the city. The virtual conferences are dealing with cases that are pre-pandemic, which were filed in March 2020 or prior to March 2020. And those actions are generally nuisance cases or non-payment cases. They are going to start calendaring cases that were filed after March 2020, but they're going to be offering everyone who has filed an answer in a non-payment action an attorney. And so you can actually retain counsel on your first court appearance or prior to your first court appearance. But if you have actually suffered a hardship due to COVID, and that can mean financially, meaning you lost your job, whether it be for a small time or the entire time. Also, if someone in your household lost their job. Also, if you've been impacted health-wise with COVID, or you find that it's a danger to actually relocate from your apartment because of COVID, you are eligible to fill out the hardship declaration form, which will actually stay all eviction proceedings, even if they haven't been in court yet, until May 1st, 2021. And so I've actually attached that form in the chat box, and you can take a look at that. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to us, but it has a notice and it's pretty self-explanatory. So if you've had a case prior to March or got sued after March, just fill out that form if you've been impacted by COVID, and that will delay the action until May. If you are not eligible to fill out that form, you will most likely be offered an opportunity to get an attorney, and that is almost everyone in the city, every 5 boroughs. So you can let the court know. They will actually give you a notice with a lot of different numbers, and you can, sorry, my husband walked in and he's acting silly, so I just got distracted. So you can contract an attorney to actually assist you as long as you are living below 200% of poverty. And even if you're above it, we could actually get a waiver to assist you as well. So that is basically what's going on in housing court now. If you have any questions about any kind of case, you can reach out to us at the email that I listed or the phone number. Thank you.
Thank you, Christy. Alexa, if you can put the slides where all the contact information. So here's the phone number where you can reach to Christy 718-487-2300 and email address info@pk.org. So that's for Christy. And these are the contact info for if you need housing help. If you need help with application with your account, or if you have any question, reach out to three of us and make sure who we help. So people over the age of 60, Nicole, people under the age of 60 speak Spanish. Alex, people under the age of 60 speak English. Or you can take a picture of this slide so you can have this information. And now we are going to take questions. So if you have any question, you can put that in the chat, or you can raise your hand, and then we'll call your name and you can unmute yourself and ask question if you want to.
All right, so we're gonna start with the chat box first for questions. So I see one. Let's see, someone coming from, sorry if I pronounce her name, but Ressa. She says, can I apply more than one apartment in my neighborhood? So Marufa, you want to answer that?
And I actually answered this one in the chat. Sorry. I
Oh, you
answered,
did? Oh, I
two
didn't see
questions
that.
in the chat.
Oh, you already answered both of them?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Thank you.
But if you want to
Thank you.
elaborate anything, please feel free to.
Yes, you can absolutely apply for more than one development, and it doesn't matter where that is. You can apply for one in Brooklyn, Manhattan, wherever you want to. You can, it doesn't matter. You can apply as many as you want, but make sure you are fulfilling the requirement. You are meeting those requirements, income requirements and household requirements. Sometimes you see they say household number 1 to 5, 1 to 7. Make sure you pay attention to that, because if you go over, you have more than 5 members in your household, and you would like to apply for one development that says household limit to 5, so you are not gonna be eligible. So make sure, as Jenna said, make sure to pay attention to all these requirements, preferences before applying to any development. But yes, you can apply to as many developments as you want. And can you read out the next question, so people who have the same question, they can get the answer?
Yeah, sure. All right. So this other one, Jenna already answered it, but I'll read the question again. Just give me 1 minute. It came from Sabrina. It says, if you're a bit above or below the income bracket for a unit, do you still recommend applying?
Jenna, would you like to answer this one?
Sure. So yeah, I put it in the chat, but it's worth repeating. So the income minimums and maximums are really exact. We have to draw a line somewhere, and so it's really to the penny. If you're even a little bit above or below, you won't be determined eligible for that project. But your eligibility is determined on the day that your log number comes up. So, right, we said all of the applications are totally randomized, and then each application is assigned a random log number, is what we call it. So whenever your log number comes up is when that private developer or marketing agent is going to look at your Housing Connect profile, and they'll see on that day what's in your profile and determine if you're eligible or not for that project. Actually, they're not going to do it. It's an automatic assessment done by a computer. So if you think your income might change in the upcoming year or so, then it might be worth applying. Just be sure to update your Housing Connect profile so that, again, the system is going to see accurate information. You're not going to have the chance to submit an appeal or anything if you're determined ineligible by the computer.
Thank you, Jenna. Do we have any more question? Alex?
Yeah, sorry. Okay, so there's one more. It just came from Emmanuel. Says, are there any are there any caveats to applying with family with the currently reside in different locations? Applying with a partner who resides with a different location in NYC. That's a good question. Mofa, you want to answer this?
Can you repeat that question?
Sure. So it's in the chat box, but it says, are there any caveats? Sorry if you guys hear my niece crying. You know, she's a little cranky today. She woke up cranky. Yeah, wait.
So
Oh, sorry.
I can read it.
Yeah.
if you need to
Okay.
make
Thank
notes.
you.
Are
Thank you.
are there any caveats to applying with family that currently reside in different locations? An example, applying with a partner who resides in a different location in New York City.
Again, Jenna, would you like to?
Yeah. Yep. So you can apply with any, I think we say the household has to be immediate family members, I believe. And they don't have to live in the same location. So you can apply with your brother, your sister, your mom, your grandpa, your grandchild. Those can all be part of your household. And it includes your partner too. So if somebody is in like a partnership, but they're not married, you can apply together. You do have to prove though financial interdependency. So that's typically like a shared bank account or a shared lease if people are living together but not married. We don't allow roommates. So that's why we have that kind of that detailed description.
And then there's another question, Jennifer Hudgens. What if I apply for an apartment today and then my income changes? If I do receive an apartment with my income now and then it changes, will I lose the apartment?
That is a great question. So if you apply today and then your income changes, so again, if you apply today, the marketing agent is going to see your income, or the system is going to look at your income on the day your log number is pulled. So they'll look at your income probably several months from now. Just make sure your Housing Connect profile is up to date. But let's say you move into you go through the process, you get a key to an apartment, you sign your lease, and you move in and you lose your job, or maybe you get a new job and you make a lot more money, which is what we would hope. Either way, your income, your rent is not going to be affected by your income. The rent it's a rent stabilized lease, almost always. So the rent can increase by a certain percentage. It's somewhere between 0% usually and like 0.5 or 2% sometimes. So it can increase a little bit, but only by a certain amount that is decided by the Rent Guidelines Board every year. I hope that answered your question. So you will not lose the apartment if your income changes, but if you're not paying your rent, then you could lose the apartment.
Thank you, Jenna. Okay, I don't.
And actually, sorry, just to clarify, we're in this like big eviction world right now. So sorry, if you're not paying your rent, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to lose your apartment, but you need to be paying your rent if you're in an affordable apartment, just like in a market rate apartment. And right now there are some eviction protections that you are hopefully aware of, and we can answer questions about those as much as we can if you have any.
Yeah, there was an eviction moratorium which stayed all evictions, but that has since expired to February 26th. It actually expired, but there is a moratorium on evictions for small businesses, and that's still in place until March 26th.
Yeah, and if you, I'm not sure if you've heard of the Hardship Declarations form, but if you are eligible for it, I think most New Yorkers are eligible for that hardship declaration based on the pandemic. Mm-hmm. Can your organization help folks with those?
Yeah, I spoke about that during my little blurb, and
Perfect.
It's actually attached in the chat. So if you look at the form and you're actually eligible, you can't be evicted until May 1st, and they can actually start an eviction against you until then.
You have to fill out that form in order for your eviction to be stayed. Is that correct?
Correct. And then you just, if, for example, you haven't been evicted, not evicted, you haven't been served papers yet. For example, you owe money. You just give that to your landlord, and the landlord can actually serve you a 14-day notice or a notice of petition and petition until May 1st. But if you actually did get a notice of petition and petition, and it hasn't been scheduled, you give the landlord and the court that notice, and then it won't be scheduled until after May 1st. And if, however, you did have a case prior to March 2020, you have a judgment and a warrant against you, and that was just delayed because of COVID, then you can fill out that form. However, they will still have a hearing on the issue of whether you can be evicted or not. And so that is it's a very small detail, but most courts will just set it down for a hearing and will push it back until May anyways. So it's always best to fill out that form.
Thank you, Christy. I have a question from the chat. Someone direct messaged me. So the person says, if you have children and unmarried, and will the mother or father be subject to child support? So the person says, if you have children and unmarried, will the mother or father be subject to child support? Is it related to
I'm not sure if any of us can answer that. If anybody can, feel free to jump in, but
I think in regards to, for example, if you apply for human resource administration, like public assistance, food stamps, or something like that, they will actually start a child support case against the other parent, regardless if they're living with you or not. Like if they're on your family composition, then they won't start a child support case. But I don't believe Housing Connect will actually initiate that process. It's HPD and not HRA. So you shouldn't have anything to worry about in regards to child support.
Yeah, and I would just refer you to a legal organization or to the City Commission on Human Rights if you want to figure out what your rights are in terms of child support, or really anything else.
So we have 3 more minutes. So if you have any question, feel free to unmute yourself or put the question on the chat or raise your hand. And thank you, Jenna and Christy, for all the clarification.
I think Sabrina has her hand.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for organizing this. I also work for Cypress with community schools, and I appreciate all the work that you're all doing right now to support everyone here in Cypress Hills. I actually wanted to ask, I keep saying that your housing and for Housing Connect and affordable housing, the rent rate is supposed to be, I think it's like 30% of your income. So when we apply and we see the rent that's listed for each unit, is that the final rent or is it readjusted when you get selected to be 30% of your income?
That's a great question. So when we are talking about affordable housing, we're typically saying about a third of your income. In New York City, we're saying no more than 35% of your income. So that maximum limit is based on the AMI, the area median income, that's decided by the federal agency HUD every year. So the maximum income you see on there, the rent will be 35% of that maximum income when it's annualized. On the lower levels, I'm saying this wrong. The maximum you can spend is 35%. So the rent will be 35% of the lower limit, if that makes sense. So the people at the maximum might be spending less than 35% of their income. They could be spending 30% of their income on rent or 28% of their income on rent. We're just saying you can't spend any more than 35. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Sabrina. We have 1 more minute, so if anyone has any last question, it's your time to ask. You can unmute yourself or raise your hand or put that in the chat. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Thank you. I would like to thank Christy, Alex, Alexa, Jenna, Nicole for be part of this presentation and yeah, to make it happen. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Have a good
Much.
good evening, everybody.
Thank you. You too. Bye.